Hi, I'm Robert H. Kajiwara. The following are 90-second oral statements made by the Hawaii and the Okinawa delegations under the auspices of In Common Dios, a Swiss-based non-governmental organization, at the United Nations Human Rights Council at its 45th session from 9 September through 2 October in the year 2020 in Geneva, Switzerland. The first 90-second statement was made by H.E. Leon Kaulahao Siu, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Hawaiian Kingdom, during Item 3, Interactive Dialogue with the Independent Expert on International Order. The second 90-second statement was made by Madam Routh Bolomet, who is a descendant and heir of the royal line of Kamehameha, the original rulers of the Hawaiian Kingdom, for Item 5, Interactive Dialogue with the Human Rights Council Advisory Committee. The third 90-second statement was made by myself, Robert Kajiwara, for Item 5, Interactive Dialogue on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.
Aloha, Madam President. We wish to remind the Council of the ongoing systematic violations of human, civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights, including the right to development in the Hawaiian Islands. These are violations that have been concealed and forgotten over 127 years. It started when Hawaii was invaded in 1893 by the U.S. in an unprovoked, undeclared act of war. This international travesty became the template for repeated U.S. unilateral interventions causing great harm through regime changes, devastation, and untold sufferings the world over. Although many of the countries injured by U.S. intervention have rebounded or are on the path to recovery, Hawaii, where it all started, is under what Dr. Alfred Zayas calls in the 2017 memorandum a strange form of occupation. The hidden occupation of the Hawaiian Islands continues to cause the people of Hawaii tremendous harm, yet Hawaiians are steadily and purposefully working for a peaceful, orderly resolution to this hidden conflict. In that spirit, we call upon the Human Rights Council to transmit an urgent request to the General Assembly to call for a review of UNGA Resolution 1469, the instrument by which the UN became complicit in the occupation and subsequent human rights abuses in the Hawaiian Islands by the United States. The same goes for Alaska as well. Thank you, Madam President.
Aloha, Madam President. I, Routh Bolomet, a direct heir of King Kamehameha I, holder of the allodium to the Hawaiian Island Archipelago, and a protected person under the Geneva Convention, make my diplomatic protest and objection to the unlawful imposition of U.S. laws in the Hawaiian Islands, including the taking of private lands and resulting abuses. In 2017, I submitted a petition and request to the Human Rights Council to investigate the ongoing U.S. human rights violations in the Hawaiian Islands. The Human Rights Council has yet to investigate these gross abuses. In 1959, the UN General Assembly adopted Resolution 1469 based on false assertions and a description of Hawaii, the 50th U.S. state, which excluded the Hawaiian Islands in U.S. Report A4226. Thus, the UN appears complicit in the ongoing illegal occupation and human rights abuses in the Hawaiian Islands by the United States. UN Mechanism Article 10 of the Declaration on Population Transfer and the Implementation of Settlers states, where acts or omissions prohibited in the present declaration are committed, the international community as a whole and individual states are under an obligation, A, not to recognize as legal the situation created by the acts, B, to ensure the immediate cessation of the acts and the reversal of the harmful consequences. Therefore, I call upon the Human Rights Council to urgently address these issues and recommend to the General Assembly an immediate inquiry into the description of Hawaii, the 50th U.S. state, excluding the Hawaiian Islands, and the revocation of Resolution 1469. Thank you, Madam President. I am Routh Bolomet.
Thank you, Madam President. We wish to remind the Council of the ongoing human rights violations being committed by Japan against the native people of Ryukyu, which was recognized as a sovereign and prosperous independent country by the international community during the 19th century. In 1879, Japan forcefully annexed Ryukyu against the will of the Ryukyuan people, similar to what Japan did to many other countries. Japan's imperialist oppression continues to this day, including economic deprivation, a heavy buildup of military on our islands, and the systematic destruction of the Ryukyuan culture, history, languages, and identity. Japan has consistently demonstrated that it ignores the democratic processes of the Ryukyuan people and stalks, harasses, intimidates, and threatens those who peacefully resist Japan's oppression. If the international community ignores Japan's illegal actions, it will send the message that international law is meaningless and that Japan or any other country could theoretically invade another country and not face any consequences. We wish to once again make Ryukyu a prosperous, neutral, and demilitarized center of trade and finance in the Asia-Pacific region. We call on the Human Rights Council and the international community at large to support the restoration of Ryukyu's de facto independence, and to help oversee the peaceful and orderly withdrawal of all Japanese forces from the Ryukyu Islands. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you so much for watching. Please also check out our panel discussions posted here on YouTube that provide more detailed information about the situations in both Hawaii and Okinawa. We are looking to work with other states and non-governmental organizations around the world in multilateral ways to support each other in our mutual goals. If you are interested in working with us, you can contact the Hawaii delegation at ForeignAffairs@HawaiianKingdom.net and the Okinawa delegation at contact@peaceforokinawa.org. Thank you again so much for watching. We look forward to hearing from you soon. We'll see you next time.